Man, soulful, ain't it? Shiny on the track. Salute to the family, man. Yes. Man, it's so soulful, man. It's so soulful. Salute to the family, man. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to tune in, man. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate you. If I had a million tongues, I couldn't tell it all, man. But this is indeed the Punch Junkie Podcast, hosted by yours truly, JuniorTheTruth, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in, man. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate you, man. You can follow me everywhere via social media. I can be found with the handle JuniorTheTruth. That's JuniorTheTruth, and that's over all the social media platforms, man, each and every one. But if you're really looking for me, man, you can catch me over on punchjunkie.com, www.punchjunkie.com, the last place in the world for real fans of the sweet science, man. Did you hear me? The last place in the world for real fans of the sweet science, man. And I am back in here again to talk boxing, man. I am back on my boxing shit. Or they call it bomb. Yes, indeedy. Salute to the family, though, man. What's good with y'all, man? On a early one Sunday morning. Looking at it. Salute to Joe Townsend in the building. What's up with you, bro? Black Attack, what's happening with you? Salute to the Sensei, Stormy B, man, my brother in the building. K_G_ in the building. What's good with you, bro? Big Joe Townsend, aka the proud member of the Old Hillside Bourbon Group, man. The Old Hillside Bourbon Company Group. Salute to my brother Joe Townsend, man. Y'all go get a bottle of that Old Hillside. We want that old thing back. You feel me? But salute to the family, man. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate you all, man. Man, y'all know I ain't gonna be, y'all know I'm gonna be in and out like a robbery because I gotta get to it. But last night, man, congratulations to Jaron Boots Ennis. Yeah, first round KO stoppage over Uisma Lima. Proved me wrong. I had him in the eighth. Round. And I was arguing, going back and forth between going for the 8th or the 7th round. He came out in the first round and disposed and dismantled Uisma Lima. And I'm a man. This man. Do y'all want to hear the truth, or shall I be politically correct today? You feel me? Let's do it that way, man. Do y'all want to hear the truth, or shall I be politically correct today? Or should I give y'all the truth? You feel me? Hey man, say man. I can't help but feel as if I have touched a sticky doorknob. Like, that's the truth. I can't help but feel as if I've touched a sticky doorknob. Um mm, I you know, eh. Man, I can't. I just got to tell y'all the truth about me, man. As a fan of the science, man, as a boxing enthusiast, as a purist, as a pundit in the sport of boxing, um, salute to the family. Shout out to Jaron Boots Ennis. Shout out to his team. Salute to Coach Bozy, the whole entire squad, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to Philly boxing. Salute. Mm. Now I can't, you feel me? I can't do nothing but engage the sport as a fan, bro. That's all I am. I can't engage I gotta engage it as a fan. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a former boxer. I'm not a part of the business. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not a promoter. I'm not a manager. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a coach. I'm not a former coach. Like, the only thing that I am is an avid fan of the sport of boxing. That's it. That's all I ever claim to be. Felix Nunez, what's up with you, bro? Salute to you. Salute to everybody catching the stream live. Salute to everybody that's gonna catch the replay, and salute to the podcast family, Mi La Familia, hashtag Junior Mafia. Salute to the podcast family, man. Thank y'all so much. Wherever you creating it or consuming this content, thank you so much. Thrive and Glow with Joe. What's up with you, sis? Man, Black Attack said, man, keep it real. Boots fought a plumber. He fought a plumber. Trey Branch 135. What's up with you, homie? Salute to you. I can't help but feel as if I touched the sticky doorknob, man. Um, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, man, as a fan, I'm ready to see more. You understand? Like, I'm ready to see more. And I think the world of Jaron Boots Ennis, of his potential. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of him. I think highly of his potential. But I am in a space where I'm just not so sure. And I can't be sure because of the level of competition, man. And we're 35 fights in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm keeping it a brick. We're 35 fights in. I know there's been difficulty making matches, especially working with Matchroom Boxing and signing with Matchroom Boxing. Um, so there was difficulty. Like, I definitely get it. I understand, working with the other entities within the sport of boxing, working with PBC, working with independently, or with, some of the smaller outfits and operations. Like, I get it. It is time, though. That's what I'm going to say. It is time. Jaron Ennis being 28 years old, also, 35 now, fights in 35, and 31 fights coming by way of TKO. I mean, we think a lot of Jaron Boots Ennis, and I think so much of him. I could have went without seeing him in there versus Lima. I could have went without seeing him in there with Lima. I'm glad that there was a big event. I'm glad that, they got to bring championship caliber, boxing to Philadelphia. Y'all know how I feel about the boxing being in these cities. I'm really on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really truly on that. But I could have went without seeing that. And that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there's just a lot that goes into these boxing matches, man. There's a lot that goes into these fights. There's a lot that goes into these fights. Now, as far as the fight is concerned, what we saw just destruction. You know what I'm saying? We saw destruction. We saw Boots Ennis come out, and we saw him jump on Lima. We saw them, get into an early exchange, and it was an early firefight in which Lima was not prepared for. You understand what I'm saying? But also, we have to understand, even though he was the What is that? What title was that? Was that the IBO? I think that was the IBO title that he had, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that was the man, I can't even think it was the IBO title. Yeah, it was the IBO super welterweight title. So even though he was the, IBO super welterweight champion, um, I can't like that's a no 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 no. No, 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 no. Was it IBO or was it IBF Intercontinental? I think it might have been IBF Intercontinental. I think that was the IBF Intercontinental. Man, don't let me get the lion. It was a minor title. Even though he was a minor title holder, he still only had 15 fights. I kept saying 14. Y'all had to excuse me. It was 15 because he got one loss. So he was 15 fights in. This was his 16th fight. You know what I'm saying? This was his 16th fight. It was the IBO. Yeah, it was the IBO. And this was his yeah, it was the IBO. This was his 16th fight. So, he suffered greatly from a lack of experience, you know what I mean? Which, we saw. Um, and we saw him go in and get, dominated versus a world-class fighter who has more experience, more skills, more attributes, um, who was just a superior fighter, who was just a superior fighter. And we saw Lima get pulled into that exchange once again, and it was an exchange that, he wasn't it was a gunfight that he wasn't ready for, man. You know what I'm saying? And he had the inability to get himself out of the gunfight. Meaning he had the inability to figure out a way, or the ring IQ to figure a way out of the gunfight. How do we see fighters get out of gunfights? We see them create distance, create separation, or get in there and tie up. You understand what I'm saying? Do something. It's so many clever veteran tactics that I see. You know what I mean? And that I have seen over the course of, my career as a boxing fan. You feel me? my career as a fan of the sweet science. And I just didn't I really didn't see Lima having the ability to get out of those spaces. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. And I saw Jaron Ennis come in and do exactly what he was supposed to do. Now, to Jaron's credit, he's moving up a weight division. You understand what I'm saying? And very few fighters do we see move up in the weight division and then go to the top of the division. Very few fighters do we see do that. You understand what I'm saying? Only fighters like, Andre SOG Ward, you know what I mean? Only fighters like Devin the Dream Haney. Like, only do we see fighters who come into a division and go straight to the top and try to take on the big dogs in those divisions. Usually fighters come into a division, they get warm-ups, they get accustomed. We talk about fighters wanting to get acclimated to a division, wanting to feel the power of the fighters in the division. How do they feel? How do, as far as their body, how do they feel, as they get acclimated? But man, that still was rough though. You know what I mean? That still was rough. That still was rough. And I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be. I'm committed to being fair, but I also have to be consistent. I also have to be consistent. Felix Nunez said, I enjoyed the performance. Adds to Boots prodigious. I can't read, man. His prodigious killer mystique. Felix added he liked the performance. I can dig it. Yeah, I can dig it from that standpoint. K_G_ said he got about that gunfight by getting shot the fuck up. He got about that. Oh, he got about that gunfight, all right. Yeah, he was shot. He was shot. The only way you leaving up out of here is shot. You feel me? Yeah, he got up out of there. He got up out of there shot. The only way you leaving up out of here is shot. Yeah, he got shot. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What was that? That was the Boondocks when dude had that song, I got shot. Yeah, he got shot. He definitely got shot. Um, But at the end of the day, man, you know, man, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying hard, y'all. I'm trying hard, y'all. Because I don't like the fact that there is so much left on the table, man. That's my problem. Black Attack said he said Devin going straight to the smoke. Bud went straight to the smoke. No excuses. He playing the Eddie Hearn game. And it ain't just Eddie Hearn, bro. Fighters do this. Fighters do this, man. You know what I mean? The new fighters do it. Bud got in, go straight to a title. You know what I'm saying? Go straight to the smoke. Once again, Bud did it. Andre SOG Ward did it. Dev did it. Like, Devin went to 140, went straight to Regis Prograis. Went straight to Regis. I'm sitting there like, oh, no. You understand what I'm saying? And he's going in there against Brian Norman Jr., bro. And y'all don't even want to know my opinion on that Brian Norman Jr. fight, man, because I've been sitting here. I'm telling y'all, man, this I'm excited for the fight. Just so that we clear. I'm excited for the fight. I am excited for the fight. But both fighters gonna have to show me. Brian Norman Jr. gonna have to show me, and Devin the Dream Haney gonna have to show me. They gonna have to show me. They gonna have to show me. Y'all don't even want to know my thoughts on that fight, man. I'm telling you, on my soul, y'all don't want to know my thoughts on that fight. But Devin the Dream Haney is going straight to the smoke. He's going to. Can you imagine? Like, I can't even use a parallel, man. Like, I can't even imagine Devin going to 147 and then fighting David Avanesian. You feel me? Like, it don't even seem right. I can't imagine it, bro. I can't imagine it. And so I hate the fact that because I feel like Boots is one of those ones, I hate that I'm put in this place as a boxing fan that I have to question it. You feel me? Nah, man, I hate that, bro. Rob Singleton says Lima was Denzel at the end of training day. You shocked me. Man, y'all just gonna clown today, bro. I wasn't trying to clown, man. I'm trying to be for real. Joe Townsend said, he said what Boots did last night was equivalent to being a senior in high school playing 2 games at JV before going to varsity. You feel me? Like, he was definitely on. That's what that is. That belt is a JV belt. Interim, IBO, like these are JV. And at this juncture, I'm not gonna lie, 35 fights in, undefeated, you know what I'm saying? 30 knockouts. Every fight from that Boots has from here on out is supposed to be a legacy defining fight. No more stay busy fights. No more light touches. Like, none. Like, I want to see legacy defining fights for Boots, because at this juncture, to be honest with you, we only had one, which was a standing on this fight. Now, I'm talking purely as a fan. I'm gonna stop quantifying my statements. By saying qualifying. I'm gonna stop qualifying my statements by saying I'm speaking purely as a fan. Y'all see it. Punch Junkie. You know what I'm saying? You see it. You see it right here. www.punchjunkie.com, the last place in the world for real fans of the sweet science. You understand what I'm saying? You see over here? All boxing, no bullshit. So when you on some bullshit, like, man, I can't help but that was some last night was some bullshit, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. And shout out to Boots. Last night was kind of, you feel me? Mm. And I'm mad at Boots. There. I'm mad. I'm upset. Because I want to see more, because I think he's one of those ones. And I really truly believe that I have to see it. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to see no more tune-ups. I don't want to see no more light touches. You understand what I'm saying? I want them to be able to, I want them to get the best fights, the best fighters and the best fights, and get Boots in a position, because that's what he's there for. And we have not been able to see Eddie Hearn get it done for American fighters yet. We haven't. And so I'm still looking. Side eye. Black Attack said Devin is gonna wash him. I promise you. Remember, I said it. You said he gonna wash. He gonna wash. He gonna have to show me, bro. He gonna have to show me. He gonna have to show me, because I got the edge. I got. I think I'm edging Norman, man. I'm not sure, bro. I got to sit down and think about it some more. Rob Singleton says Boots is in his prime. I ain't trying to see no more tune-ups. Show us your greatness against the best. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. Like, I want to see it against the best. I don't want to see no more tune-ups. Like, you got a whole bunch of contemporaries. You feel me? And we see the same storyline played out within the modern landscape of boxing, bro. We see these fighters who we think are the goods and we think are the greats, and we just see the inability to see them in the best fights against the other elite level fighters in their division. And I'm not hearing no 4-5 years down the line, bro. Like, I'm not hearing that. You understand? Like, these fights need to happen now. And the truth of the matter is, to be honest with you, that's why boxing is the way that it is in the American market. That's why the PBC is in the condition that it's in. That's why Top Rank is in the condition that it's in. That's why Showtime is out of the sport of boxing. That's why HBO is out of the sport of boxing. That's why ESPN is now opted to get out of the sport of boxing. Y'all be sure to hit the like button for me, please. Or stop looking at me in my Black Fight Fan TV voice. Stop acting like a hoe. Stop just looking at me. Hit the like button, man. So we have an inability to make these career defining fights. And I'm saying at 35 fights in, bro, you know, we ain't got one. Like, we only had one, the Stanionis fight. So this is either going to be really, really good, or this is going to be really, really bad. Does that make sense? Like, this is either going to be really, really good, or this is going to be really, really bad. I don't see it no other way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't, man. All right. So let's look, because we always run these parallels with Bud, right? So I'm gonna take off. So I'm gonna take some off the top. One. So if we go down here, right, and we look at Bud's resume, right, and Bud had already, by 35 fights, he had already been, he had already been world champion at 35. He had been undisputed at 40. He had already been, and he was world champion at welterweight. He had the WBO at welter, right? On his resume, we had Amir Khan, Jose Benavidez Jr., we had Jeff Horn that beat Manny Pacquiao, we had Julius Ndongo, we had the Felix Diaz kid that, you know, a lot of us were well, I was really big on. We had John Molina Jr. We had Victor Postal, who was Olympic gold medalist and who was a terrorist at that time, I think at 140. We had Hank Lundy, who was, you know, Hank Lundy was definitely nice. Had Thomas Delorme, Ray Beltram. He had Yuriokis Gamboa. He had Ricky Burns on his resume at that time. You feel me? At 35 fights in, those are names that he had. I think I skipped over Derek Jean. Like, he had some names on his resume at that time. That was I think Amir Khan was his 35th fight. Yeah. His 35th fight was against Amir Khan. Like we always, and I'm only doing this because we always run the parallels between Jaron, Boots, Ennis, and Bud Crawford. Salute to my brother Drew Titan in the building. What's up with you, bro? But at this time, you know what I mean? Like I said, Bud had already been, he had a world championship at welterweight. He had already been undisputed at 140. He had already been world champion at 35. And he had those names on his resume. And when we look at Boots, all we see is the Stanionis is the one that sticks out. It's the Stanionis. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of those ones. I'm not trying to damper on the Stanionis win. I'm not trying to dampen the Stanionis win. But what we have right now is we have him he unified 147, right? But even in unifying 147, he didn't, I don't think hold on, let me make sure I don't misspeak. Let me make sure I don't misspeak. No, he never defended the unification at one, or was that a unification? Yeah, it was a unification. So he unified at 147, but he never defended the unification at 147, right? He unified at 147, and his next fight, he went up, you know what I'm saying, to 54 to fight Lima. And the conditions in which he went up in 147, man, is just because he went up at 147 and he was going away from the other unification bout versus Brian Norman Jr. Like, that's something that, like, I'm not saying nothing about nobody ducking nothing or none of that. I'm talking about, as a fan, why were we not able to get that fight? You understand what I'm saying? Why are we not able to get that fight? So we don't get the Brian Norman Jr. fight, right? We get the Stanionis fight instead. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? We had the Chuka has-been fight. Okay, cool. Fought David Avedisian. You feel me? But we wasn't able to get the Brian Norman Jr. fight. The next thing we know, he just pops up going ahead and going on to 154, which over here on this platform, I had been calling for the move to 154 because all the smoke was at 154 and there was nothing to prove at 147. The biggest fights were at 154. So that little bit of time that we spent gallivanting around at 147, like, we could have just been up at 154. As soon as Bud Crawford went to 54, I was calling for Boots to go to 154. Like, go to 154 and get on this bumper. And if nothing else, you feel me? You'll be at 154 already in the division. What do they say? They say shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you at least be amongst the stars. Like, that type of, that's where my mind was. Because 154 is it. That's the big competitive division. You can go in there and you can shake some stuff up. But we didn't get the Brian Norman Jr. fight at 147. Then he went on up to 54. And this was the first fight at 54. Yeah. And I feel like I touched a sticky doorknob. Black Attack says, I think Boots is going to get primed out. 35 fights is a lot of fights for anybody that hasn't fought nobody. By the time he gets in there with somebody on his level, he's going to lose. And I fucks with Boots. Now, Boots is my guy, man. Boots is my guy for real. But it's a lot of dudes is my guy, and I don't, I got a lot of guys and I don't like the way. I mess with Tank, bro. I mess with Tank. This ain't it, though. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't it. It's a lot of these dudes I mess with. This ain't it. This ain't it. I mess with Arrow. This ain't it, though. You know what I'm saying? This mysterious mystique. Are you coming back? Are you not? This blind allegiance to the ship that is going down. Like, man, I don't mess with that. Then you starting to see people come out and speak out against it. You're starting to see Angel Garcia having stuff to say, and people, starting to come out and, hey, man, like, it's a lot of people I mess with, but I just don't like stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just it. And I think at some point, like, you got to take the bull by the horns, and you got to make the best fights. You know what I mean? Because this is actually your career. So, excuse me, if Boots' career is moving in a way that we're not satisfied with as his fans, he got to own that, bro. Like it's your product. Like you got to own that. And this is what I be talking about from the business standpoint. This is what I be talking about. My brother Drew Titan says Ricky Hatton had a lot of fights up to the Tszyu fight. And although he won that, he looked subpar after that and eventually lost. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Boots better do better. Man, he got to do more, bro. Like he got to do more. Like that's just the truth. Like he got to do more. And I'm not, like I said, I'm glad fights was in Philly. I'm glad he's been able to bring championship caliber fights to Philly, but this ain't it, homie. Like this really ain't it. You know what I mean? We got to do more. Like we really truly got to do more. And when you start looking at it, there's a lot left to be desired, man. When you start looking at it, there's a lot left to be desired. You know what I mean? And like I really don't even have nothing else to say about it. 1 round stoppage, bro. In there versus somebody with 15 fights, 16 fights. One round dismantling, demolishing. Just jump on him and get him out of there in 1 minute and 30 seconds in round 1. Like that's not that's not special. Especially coming off, you just dismantled Stanionis. You feel me? Like you just dismantled Stanionis. So how do we move? You have to move, like you got to raise the bar. Like you don't do something and then take a step back, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like dismantling Stanionis and stopping Stanionis. You don't then step back. And I'm talking about your career. Like you don't take a step back, and fighting Lima and dismantling him in the first round was a step back, bro. You feel me? If he had done that to Erickson Lubin, now we got something. You feel me? If that had been former champion Julius J. Rock, okay, now we got something. You know what I'm saying? I know my dude, Jared Hurd is retired, but if that was like Jared Hurd wasn't even at 54 no more. He's at 6. Okay. Like there's fighters that if you had done that to, we could say, okay, like some of the former, because let's be clear, 154 has been a very competitive division. It's been the most competitive division in the sport of boxing over the past probably 10 years. Actually, it's been one of the most rewarding divisions in the sport of boxing. Like 154 has given me hope as a boxing fan. You feel me? As far as people fighting, everybody locking horns, everybody taking lumps, bouncing back, rematches, all of that good stuff. So yeah, man, like that. If we had got one of those, for just a former champion, a Banana J Rosario, somebody that we know and we knew from being in 154, and you go in there and but we fighting somebody we never heard of, who only had 15 fights, bro. And he's not even from this market, man. You feel me? He's from somewhere totally different. He's born in Angola. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it sounds like I'm poo-pooing on the parade. I guess because I am, bro. I just need to own it. I'm poo-pooing on the parade, man. I'm poo-pooing on the Lima parade, bro. He's fighting out of Portugal, bro. Fighting out of Portugal, bro. Portuguese. We don't even know where Portugal is. Ain't that ignorant? I'm about to showcase my ignorance. Damn. N_the gym said that wasn't a statement. Damn. I'm not here to disagree, bro. I am not here to disagree. I'm not here to disagree. You understand what I'm saying? And I also know that if we talk about the fight, in that exchange, I also know that there are fighters who would have, things would have got handled a little differently. You understand what I'm saying? Like I think it would have been people would have been, we got Xander Zayas up there. I'm talking about the what's next. See them people down there? We got the Virgil Ortizes, Xander Zayas, Erickson Lubin. You understand what I'm talking about? We got the Sebastian Fundora. We got the Keith Thurman. We got some people that would have been able to do a little bit of something different. Yeah. In the gym said he did what he was supposed to do with it. I don't even think, and see, this is it though. This is it, bro. I don't think that Lima is a trash can. I don't think he's a trash can. I think he was out of his class. You feel me? Like people say this stuff all the time, like it's levels to this, right? But don't nobody want to respect the levels in the sport of boxing. It's levels, but don't nobody want to respect the levels. Like we talk this talk and we say these things, but then people don't want to respect what's said. There is levels to the sport of boxing, bro. And Jaron Bruce Ennis is levels above Lima. Lima is because the title that he had, right? Lima is a good domestic level fighter, bro. Like he's a good intercontinental level fighter. You understand what I'm saying? He's a good intercontinental level fighter. And I think he should have been allowed and should be allowed to compete on the intercontinental level. You understand what I'm saying? Not the world class level. like, damn. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the exchange because even within the exchange, like we talked about, I told you in my pre-fight video in a stream, we were talking about how Boots gets he's very athletically creative, but he also tends to drop his hands and tends to you know what I mean, kind of put himself in harm's way when he's on offense. And for those of us who missed it, in that exchange, Lima actually clipped Boots. He actually clipped Boots. He punched, he landed. He landed. Just just the way that we described it and what we talked about, he had the opportunity and he landed. But it didn't do anything. You understand what I'm saying? It didn't do anything. And so when I'm looking at that, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, I'm looking at it and I'm comparing that exchange, and I'm like, man, if he was in there with Jamel Charlo, bro, like we talking something totally different. You feel me? If he in there with Jamel Charlo, man, in that exchange, bro, we talking something purely different. If he's in there in that exchange with I said even Keith Thurman, somebody who has more experience, somebody who understands, somebody who Keith Thurman could move back and create some distance and then fire that left hook, pow, place that motherfucker where it need to be played. Like it's different. It's different. And I think that I'm ready to see the difference. That's all I'm saying as a fan. I am ready to see the difference. I am ready to see him in there with formidable opponents. Salute to my brother B about the foreigns in the building, man. Come on, bro. He coming in with the laughing emojis and the shrugs, man. This is pitiful. This is why the plant-based pugilist changed his name, bro. He don't even go by the plant-based pugilist no more, bro. He trying to create some distance. Ah, man. In the gym says, listen, he said, I would have did better than Lima or whatever his name is. I have zero experience, zero pro experience. He wasn't good, brother. Now I'm not like I said, I'm not going there, bro. I don't think he's not that level. You understand what I'm saying? Jaron Bruce Ennis is an elite level, world class fighter, and he is potentially a great of a generation. You understand what I'm saying? And when you are a domestic level, intercontinental level fighter, and you're in there versus that type of fighter, bro, like that's what's supposed to happen. That's what's supposed to happen. Man, Mac of the South, what's up with you, homie? And so it's not, you know what I mean? I'm not, and like I said, I'm at a period in Boots, we're at a space in Boots' career just as a fan. I don't want to see anymore. That's what's supposed to happen. I want to see him in fights where I don't know who's gonna win. You feel me? Devin the Dream Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. I don't know who's gonna win that fight. Like I hear everybody talking and picking, and I don't know who's gonna win that fight. I gotta do me some serious thinking. I gotta do me some serious thinking on that one. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna win that fight. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. I know who's gonna win that fight. Bivol versus Better Beef. I didn't know who was gonna win that fight. You see what I'm saying? I am beyond the place where I want to see I need to see fighters fighting in fights that I know they're gonna win. Like there's never no question that Boots wasn't gonna win that fight. The question was, when was he gonna win it? B by the farm said, I'm rolling with Norman Jr. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. Yeah, there's some things I gotta literally do me some thinking, bro. I gotta do me some thinking. Cause one minute I'm picking Dev, the next minute I'm picking B. So I gotta do me some thinking, bro. I gotta do me some thinking. I gotta do me some thinking. Cause I think it's man, we're gonna have to talk about it, bro. We gotta talk about it. I ain't taking no, I'm not. Is there a reason why Boots didn't fight Brian Norman Jr. at 147? Let me ask y'all that. Is there a reason why we didn't get the Boots Ennis fight? Boots Ennis versus Brian Norman Jr. Besides all of the hoopla, is there a reason why we didn't get that fight, y'all? In the gym says if you go off the last performance, Dev going to sleep. Rob Singleton said, I got Dev. Norman been knocking out stationary targets his last 3 fights. Dev gonna shake and move. Yeah, man. Say y'all, man, y'all turn this. We gotta have we'll have that conversation. Maybe we'll have that conversation this week. We'll have that conversation this week. Yeah, my brother Stormy B Man, and let me get out the way. And we're gonna go over to Stormy B Man's next. He's about to go. He's going live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're gonna go over and catch him. He says because there's a smidget of a chance Norman Jr. could have upset plans. That's why we didn't get the damn fight. And he said, just like Gary Russell. And a lot of y'all didn't know, like Gary Antoine Russell, him and Boots got active in the amateurs. Gary Antoine Russell and Boots Ennis got active in the Amis. Man, I don't know, man. Mac of the South said Devin is way more experienced. He's been on the big stage and big. Nah, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, man. Well, let me read what Mac said. Mac said Devin is way more experienced. He's been on the big stage in big fights. Norman hasn't been on the big stage. Man, I don't know, bro. I think that fight over in where was that? That Japan? That's a big stage, bro. That's a big stage. You have to compare. You got to compare that to Dev going to Australia. That's a pretty big stage, man. Yeah, it's a pretty big stage. In the gym he said Boots and Hitchens. Yeah, him and Hitchens got active in the but Gary Antoine got a tremendous amateur resume. We talked about it when we interviewed him, man. He got a tremendous resume. All right. He said, Joe Townsend said, I'm glad B. Norman got fans now. Make sure y'all still fans after the fight, still wondering where the Regis fans went. Shrugging. He on his Bay Area. He on his J area. He on his J area. He on his town business right now. Joe Townsend is on his town business right now. Man, I am not. No more. I rebuke y'all. No more Dan versus Brian Norman conversation, because then when it's time to talk that, y'all ain't gonna be talking. I rebuke it. We talking about boots. And I asked the question, and the only person who answered the question was Stormy B-Man. Is there an underlying reason why we did not get Brian Norman Jr. versus Jaron Boots Ennis in a unification bout at 147? What's the reason? What's the 411, son? Why didn't we get that damn fight? Why didn't we get that damn fight, man? I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm trying to figure it out. You understand what I'm saying? Like I don't know. But something in the milk ain't white. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Because we should have got that fight. And we have all these fights and these opportunities for these fighters to have adversaries, to have rematches and trilogies and all of that, and we keep moving away from it, man. Them two dudes could have rocked out. In the gym said high risk, low reward. Joe Townsend said that's how ass the Boots fight was. Niggas want to talk about Dev now. Oh, man. Mac in the South said Norman's KO power was a factor. But also, though, man, Norman's not a stationary target himself, man. Norman can move. You feel me? And I'm starting to, man, I'm starting to, there's a certain style of fighter that when you move around a little bit and you don't present yourself as a standing target, a lot of fighters don't want to see you. And if you can move around and you got the cracks, hey, man, say like we got to be real and we got to tell the truth, man. We saw Tank in there versus a fighter who wasn't stationary, come forward, high guard, there for you to beat on. And Tank fought to a draw. Some people argue that he lost. Man, these fighters that I'm seeing Boots have the most success against. Man, y'all just really gonna make me say it, man. And I'm trying not to. I think Boots versus Keith Thurman to tell me everything I need to know. I think Boots versus Keith Thurman to tell me everything I need to know. Hey, man, I need to see more. That's all I'm saying. This ain't a Debbie Downer. This is me pumping up my fighter. Boots Ennis is one of my fighters. This is me pumping up my fighters, but this is me also raising that level of accountability because I'm a man. I ain't no bootlicking trustee. Like, I'm a man. You feel me? And I want to see. Janabek says, the War Report, salute to my brother in the building. And he says Janabek ain't moving. Crocs says 160 is in the plans. Dang. In the gym said Keith? Yes, Keith Thurman, bro. Keith Thurman. Keith, one time Thurman. Name me one person on Boots' resume that's better than Keith Thurman. Keith, one time Thurman. Yep. Keith, one time Thurman. And y'all know this, man. Y'all do realize Keith Thurman was about to sleep Sebastian Fundora. Y'all realize that, huh? Y'all do know that. Y'all do know Sebastian Fundora was getting ready to go to sleep. Did y'all know that? Shout out to Sebastian Fundora. I like Fundora. I'm still mad with him because I watched him lose to Jamonte Clark, Cincinnati, Ohio's own. In the gym says he needs to fight someone on his level. And you're assuming that Keith Thurman is not on Jaron Boots Enos' level. Is that what I'm reading? Oh. So let me put this back up here, bro. Let me put this still image back up here before I get ready to go. So as far as the 154-pound division, right? We're looking at, let me stop this. So we're looking at, you see this image, you see these little people peeking over these people over here, looking out of my project window. Got Xander Zayas, got Keith Thurman, Sebastian Fundora in the back, got Virgil Ortiz. You feel me? You got Erickson Lubin. All of these dudes right here, all 5 of these dudes right here are better than anybody that's on Boots' resume right now. Yeah. Yeah. In the gym says that's like saying Porter was on Buzz level. At the time that they fought, he wasn't. But there was a time when Sean Porter was definitely on Buzz. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is a very interesting conversation. Yeah, Sean Porter there was a time. Now the Sean man, we can have this conversation. I'm trying not to get away. I'm trying not to get away from this. Keith Thurman is definitely on well, let me say this. It's on. So I have my thoughts on that. So it's on Eddie Hearn and it's on Jaron Boots Enos to show me that Keith Thurman's not on this level. How about that? How about that? How about that? Lubin is, and I don't have Lubin on the same level as Jaron Boots Enos. However, Lubin is actually fighting Virgil Ortiz. Unlike we've not been able to get the Boots Enos fight versus Ortiz for whatever reasons. But Lubin is actually fighting Virgil Ortiz. So Lubin makes the list for the mere fact that he is willing, able, and has agreed to, and is currently scheduled to actually fight Virgil Ortiz. You feel me? So he's in that picture because of that. But I don't have him as a world. I have him as a contender of the world title. You know what I'm saying? Just right now. Now, if he goes in there and he beats Virgil Ortiz, then he's gonna get all the respect from me. You feel me? He gets all the respect from me. But I believe that Lubin is a step down, but Lubin also is extremely impressive to me. I'm extremely impressed by Lubin. I'm impressed by his resilience. I'm impressed by his ability to get knocked down and to crawl right back into contention. But even still with Lubin, I believe Lubin is better than everybody on I'm thinking. I can't really say Stanionis because Stanionis is at 47. But he's well, I guess they're all his opponents have been at 47 except Lima. Yeah, Lubin is better than everybody on his resume. Yep. This man in the War Report, I just caught on. He calling Boots Crocs. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Man, I got to get out of here, man. We're going to get ready for Stormy B, man, and slide over, man. At the end of the day, I guess this is where I'm supposed to come on and give my my final word. You understand what I'm saying? I'm supposed to come in and give my Punch Junkie final take. Boots. Come on, bruh. Like, come on, man. Like, come, bruh, Boots. Come on, man. Like, come on. Boots, come on, bro. Eddie, don't do this, bro. Eddie Hearn, don't do this, bro. We got to have these big fights, bro. Don't do this. Do not do this. We've seen Eddie come in at big fights. We've seen him fucked up. We've seen Eddie come in and wave his magic wand And the biggest fights in the sport of boxing have gone to shit. Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua was the biggest fight of a generation. Eddie Hearn came in, waved his magic wand, and the fight went to shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm Boots, this is your career, big dog. Don't do. Stop doing this to your fans, bro. Stop doing this, bro. Stop doing this, Boots. Get them people something to cheer for, bro. You know, bro. Give these people something to choose for. Choose. Hey, man. Give these people something to cheer for, bro. Give us, not these people. Give us something to. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, you know why we can't, man, let me put his, fuck that. Let me put this. You understand what I'm saying? Let me put that up there. Every time one of these fighters give me, I had to scratch my head, I'm just going to put this up here. You feel me? This is a picture of the greatest fighter in the world since 2004. This is the, or is it 4? No. Yeah, 2004. This is the greatest fighter in the world. The greatest since 2004. I'm just gonna put his picture up there. Terrence Bud Crawford. This is the greatest fighter of a couple of eras. This is the greatest fighter since 2004. This is the greatest boxer since 2004. From 2004 to 2025, there's not a fighter better than Terrence Bud Crawford. Nobody. Come on, Boot. Stop doing this to us, bro. Don't stop. Let's stop, man. Don't be like Floyd, man. Respectfully. We're not gonna be like we you feel me? We want, man, you are a great, bro. Man, it's time to start acting like it, bro. Don't do this, man. Stop the madness. It ain't too late. Stop the madness, man. Stop the madness. Hey, man, salute to y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to tune in. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate you. We're going to go over to Stormy B Bands, and we're going to thug it up. We're going to go over there, and we're going to bring the property value up. I'm going to bring it down, but y'all bring it up. Salute to the family. Smash the like button if you haven't done so, please, man. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. You can pull up over www.punchjunkie.com, the last place in the world for real fans of this week's science. Also, you can follow me everywhere via social media. I can be found with the handle JuniorTheTruth, JuniorTheTruth, and that's over all the social media platforms. But if you're really looking for me, you can catch me over on JuniorTheTruth.com. That's the hub, www.JuniorTheTruth.com. But this is Junior the Truth signing off, man, giving you your daily reminder to view your life like a pair of dice. Until your life looks like a paradise, man. I'm a high-born player, man. If you don't know anything else about me at the end of the day, I got to keep pushing, baby.
Ghetto, baby, I seen pistol play. And K's airing like when white bitches don't get their way. Pull up with that whip appeal, look like baby face. Guerrilla warfare, what a motherfucker bathing age. Never falling off, I live my life on the edge. Telling lies on the real, they don't believe what you're saying. I ain't never complained, I ain't never was scared. Look here, bitch, it ain't no buts about my last piece of bread. Camoed out, grew up on them niggas from the know you. Funny how they lose themselves when they can't control you. Here's a 50 slab, cause the game is out of order. Make me kill a nigga career just to meet my quota. Hold up, none you rap niggas want it. I got remnants of Biggie, I was never Lil Homie. I'm so genuine with her, she let me ride on that pony. Don't need your flowers, I grow them. Got the game in the coma.